Now I had to go to the menu to find it. New and improved software. Okay, welcome everybody. Hopefully the others will chime in here shortly. This was, we had quite a few register for this, but this is my periodic Realeflow live event. How many read the final reminder about an hour or so ago on this event and downloaded the flyer that I sent that was in that email? Nobody. Okay. So that flyer is the latest and greatest information from Realeflow. I had it updated just a couple of days ago, and wanted to just kind of give you some basics in there, and then we're going to talk about a lot of those things today. The one thing that's not on there, and it's because it really isn't formally released yet, is they're coming out with a new smartphone app called Smartphone, but it's SMRT phone, that's going to be replacing Mobi messaging. Mobi worked, but Mobi was very old and outdated, and it was kind of mind-boggling and time-consuming to try and set it up and use it. So they're doing away with that. For new users, they won't even see a Mobi app in their account. For those that were using Mobi and had some campaigns created, they were going to leave those in place, such as my account. I had some campaigns in there, and so Mobi is still in my account. I am one of the beta testers, although I'm a poor beta tester right now. I have not done a thing with it other than get set up. I did send one test message. Sarah, did you get that test message? Several days ago? Okay, we're going to have to try that again then. I may have just screwed it up. But anyhow, more to follow on that. Let me jump right in here and let's get this thing going. We want to share. And can everybody see my screen? Okay. So welcome to Realeflow Live. This is an event. I'd like to do it every quarter, but I'm just haven't had the time to do that. It is meant to be a high-level overview with all the functionality and capabilities to try and just tell you what's out there and to kind of give you an idea why I've been using it for 14 plus years. So there's a ton of software out there right now and CRM tools. They all do different things. They all, they might give you a different level of comfort and ease of use. And I'm kind of at the point now where I say it's hard to teach an old dog new tricks. So I'm kind of sticking with what I have. And let me just go through this real quick, and then we're going to get right into the tool. So you can download 10,000 leads a day, a max of 15,000. I'm sorry, 10,000 in a download, a max of 15,000 leads a day. That is a whole lot of leads to be trying to market to. Direct mail systems are built right in, and you can send your marketing right within a couple of clicks. And to my knowledge, 49 cents for a small postcard is the cheapest I know of anywhere. And as you will look and see on that flyer that I sent you, that's in your email, your final reminder today, you can go download it later. You'll see on the backside all the prices for all their postcards and the letter. They have their version of a yellow letter, and by far it's the cheapest that I know of. They do not raise prices just because the post office raises prices. And one thing that Sarah and I have discovered using the direct mail postcard system is you can create your own postcards, but guess what? They don't charge you more for color postcards. We are creating full color front and back postcards, and they're mailing them for 49 cents a piece. You just can't beat that. You have a whole marketing library that's available to you that you can download and customize if you like. Contact management for your buyers, sellers, contractors, realtors, landlords, that's all in there. And I use it a lot. And one of the big reasons I use it a lot is Realeflow for the buyers piece, for everything, but the buyers list. Customizable buyer seller websites through WordPress. It's a customized version of WordPress. You can go make, they have all these pre-made templates and built-in autoresponders, which is another main reason I use it, is the websites and the autoresponders. There's no extra cost for these websites other than paying the price, the $10 a year for a domain name. That's the only extra cost. So that's included in your monthly or annual fee. It's all mobile optimized. There is not an app for Realeflow itself. The new version of Realeflow called Leadflow is a mobile app, but it's also a website too. Property listings pages, so you can have your own property listings page on a system called SellPoint. Plus, you can put it on your what they call the core website, like my TMC Property Solution site. You're also networked with over 200,000 users across the US and Canada. I'm going to talk about that when we get to Power Match. Deal Analyzer tool. There's a rehab estimator tool. There's a detailed rehab planning tool that's connected to the Home Depot SKUs. So you can give your contractor specific SKU numbers to go purchase for your rehabs if you want to get that detailed. There's a detailed buyers list management by buyer type and market area. I'm going to talk more about that when we get to power matching and preparing for that. Mobile messaging, again, Mobi's going away, and it's going to be replaced in the very near future. Automated email marketing at no extra cost. So that is really the autoresponders that I mentioned earlier. Lead Pipes premium nationwide leads. You have Lead Pipes in your standard system, but when you upgrade to the premium, it gives you nationwide in a total of 18 types. This is a one-time upgrade. I can save you $200 on that one-time upgrade, but you have to call me. You can't go straight to Realeflow. They will charge you the $997. Yes, $997 is their cost to purchase that. AI leads, artificial intelligence, lead scoring by zip code. We'll talk about that. That is a paid upgrade by zip code. And skip tracing, they have a small fee per name that you're skip tracing. I think it's 10 or 11 cents. I can't swear to it. And you can now do a proof of funds letter through the system if you care to do that, and much more. So we're going to get right into things here. Regarding the AI lead pipes, if you have not seen what they're doing with AI, I would encourage you to go watch this video. I'm not going to take up time on this call, but go watch this video. This presentation will be uploaded to today's calendar event after the meeting, and you can just go click on this link here. If you have not already joined Realeflow and signed up, whether an active user or signed up for a free trial, you can just scan these QR codes and go get set up. This first one here on the left is a video overview that's going to go into a lot more detail than what we're going to cover today. It's quite a bit longer than what will be on the call here today. If you decide you want to go try the free 60-day trial, use the center QR code, and then this right one is the annual subscription deal. And it is a significant savings to you if you decide to go through the group as a member. You can buy it annually for $900 a year, whereas that puts you at about $75 a month if you pay for it by the year. Their new pricing, if you haven't seen, is they have two versions, $199 and $399 a month. And you're getting it for $75 a month right here. So I would encourage you to think seriously about this. And let's jump over to the system. Any questions about what I just went over? Anything at all? You can't see the website though, can you? Realeflow, can you see Realeflow? All their improvements, you would think that they would fix this sharing issue. How about now?
Yeah.
Okay. You're welcome. Everybody's welcome to unmute. We got a small group here. You can unmute yourself so that we can have a conversation here. I don't think we'll have any problem with not getting everything covered. So this is my training account. This is not my day-to-day personal account. This is the homepage when you log in. And you notice here that they use this to communicate with you. So they're telling you to update billing. You can turn off this message once you've gone through it. You can turn that off. Down here, if you saved leads in your lead pipe system, you'll see those leads or those lists in there. But you can come in here and add task. You can see the recent activity with the properties that you've been, or the sellers or buyers that you've been communicating with. You can see all the most recent activity here on the homepage. Coming over here, you can start directly searching from the homepage if you want. You can go straight into property leads, do direct mail. The knowledge base is where you can go and ask questions, and if you have a question about something, and then your contacts and properties and websites. So from the homepage, you can go do a lot of things. You can come right here and download the new Realeflow app if you haven't already. If you are interested in Realeflow, which is the newer version of Realeflow, they're doing some other things with that, but it's very, very similar. I can probably get you a deal on that, but you got to see me so I can send you a link. This lien data is a new thing. You have to purchase that. I currently don't have access to it. I'm going to talk to them about that so I can go check it out and see what's in there. You can come to their live classes. Notice here, Wednesday the 24th, today at 1 o'clock. Here in an hour, they're going to be doing a lead generation class. You can register for those. There are several different ones. They do this every week. These are very good to understand the basics. The difference between what they're doing and what I'm doing is that I show you a lot about the little things I've learned and how I use it in my business. They're just showing you the basics on the features and capabilities. So it's very good, but mine goes a little bit further. And then as a Realeflow user, you can subscribe with Home Depot to get 2% cash back. So that is separate from the any other discounts that we get you through the group. So if you go subscribe there through this link, then you can track your rewards and all that stuff there. Okay, so that's the homepage. The biggest thing you need to do when you first get started. So let me ask real quick. Is there anybody on the call that is not using Realeflow today?
I'm not.
Jonathan, you're not. Emily, how about you? Can you answer real quick or no?
No, I'm not.
You're not. Okay. All right. Just want to know so I know who's doing what. So when you start Realeflow, even as your trial, if you start the 60-day trial, it's very, very important that you get set up in the profile. So you come up here to the top right corner and you click on this profile button. And what you want to do is you want to come down through all these fields and answer the questions. Very, very important. Okay, very important because the system uses the information you have here to do different things with. So this is just basic stuff. You're going to put your name in here. Again, this is my training account. Notifications, you can come in here and set all these different notices, whether it's email or text. You can have notifications for new properties coming in, documents, what kind of property activity, property statusing, new sellers, new buyers, new contacts, system notifications when somebody assigns a task to you or there's an internal message. So you have the control over all this. I would encourage you to come in and try them, maybe go through and check the emails first and see how that looks and see how it works for you. And then maybe come back and do the same thing with text or do them both at the same time. But, go through those, don't ignore them because they help you stay informed on what's going on in your account. Next is email settings. So you can come in here and you can add team members. So if you have a VA, you have an office assistant, you have partners, you can come in here and add them to this system. Okay.
How many can you add?
Say again?
How many can you add?
I believe it's 15.
Okay, that's plenty.
Yeah, I don't remember for sure just because I've been on it so long and I only have a couple. So in my real account. So then you come on down here and you establish your users. So you can add a number of users into your account. Be careful, a user has access to your system. So, if you want your VA to have full access, then that's fine. I'll talk to you in a minute about PowerLink and where they can have partial access. But remember who you assign as a user because they're going to have full access to your system, your data, your leads. Okay. Company info. This is very important. You want to fill it out, the name, the phone numbers, the websites, the addresses. The system is going to use these things. If you've got social media pages, put it all in here. I don't have some of this stuff because it's just a demo account. I don't have, another Facebook page. I need another social media account like I need a hole in the head. So, make sure it's all filled out though. Primary contact information, contact, is it a business, the name, so on and so forth. Okay. So make sure you have all that information in here because this information is used for power matching properties. Custom fields. So the system is designed to fill out forms, autofill, and you can create custom fields and names. If I was in my real account, you would see I have all these custom names in here for land trust. So when I put a property into a trust, I have all these custom fields and it fills out all the information that I want automatically in these fields. So this is a very powerful piece of the tool. It can fill out a set of documents for you in seconds. Very important. It takes a little time to get it set up, but very important. backup data. So you can come over here and do backups of properties, contacts, and tasks. Now, when you submit it, what it's going to do is it's going to go off to the servers. It's going to do the backup, and you see that little red dot? That's the notification. So it's going to tell you there when your backup has been done and available for download. Don't be fooled by this backup. It is not in a very user-friendly format. So if you tried to use it, you would have to do some cleanup work to put it into a format you could use. But it is here for emergencies. Honestly, I do it just periodically, but I've never had a problem in 14 years. Realeflow does their own server backups, but people want to be able to access their data and do backups, so that's what this is for. Smooth Fax is the fax system that you can have integrated into your account. So if you're sending and receiving faxes for a particular property or contact, it will go right into that profile, and you can get that fax number directly from Realeflow. There is a couple of bucks for that number, but it's not much. I believe it's a one-time charge. I have it in my real account, but not in this training account. AI territories. Remember, I told you there's a fee for the AI zip codes. You can buy those zip codes. You simply put them in here, and you can go buy more in here. It used to be a unique purchase to you. You could be the only one buying that zip code. Now more than one can buy, but they have a limit on it, so you don't have to worry about too many people buying in the same area. Notice you can buy it by zip code and you can buy it by county. Okay. We'll talk more about AI here in a bit. Integrations. So there's over time, there's a lot of technology out there, and Realeflow is trying to keep up with all that. You can come in here and you can connect the new system, Leadflow, to Realeflow by clicking right here. But then you have all these other third-party services that you can connect up to Realeflow and do different things. We didn't used to have this stuff. I have not made the time to go connect to any of it, but you can see here, you can connect with through Zapier, which a lot of people are familiar with. You can use Google Sheets, setting up rows for properties and contacts. You can do messages in Slack. You can do Realeflow contacts, the Google Sheets. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff that you can do. And I choose to just do all my work inside Realeflow. Other people are choosing to use Realeflow for some things and then maybe use Podio and other tools. Okay, so just keep that in mind. You can go try these things and see if it's something you're interested in. I don't know what Answer Force is, but there's another one. Gravity Forms, Facebook Leads. Realeflow does have, if you do subscribe through the group, through me to the annual subscription, you also receive 2 bonus courses. One of those is Facebook marketing. So this may come in handy with that Facebook marketing course. And I mean, you see here that there's a lot of different types of things that you can do. Eventbrite, Mojo, so on and so forth. So there's a lot in here. This was going to take a little time to go through it and try and use that stuff. Here's all your payment information. And then here's invoices from past payments and stuff, which mine will be blank, or it should be blank. Oh, that was for domain name. So you can buy domain names through Realeflow. or you can go to GoDaddy and then they have instructions to help you get it set up that way. Okay, any questions about that so far? Okay, so moving on. Over here is your menu. So you have, the three little bars here that open and close at, or you can just put your mouse over it. The dashboard is where we're at right now. Click on properties. You get a list view of the properties that you're working on. So again, these are all just properties for examples. We'll come back to this. Contacts. This is one of my main reasons for using Realeflow is I build my buyers list in here, and we put every contact we come in touch with regarding my real estate business in here. So we have buyers, we have investors, we have contractors, we have investors, landlords, and rehabbers. You can see here all kind of commercial sellers, every single lead that, or every contact that we have is in this page. From here, you can do a lot of different things. You can check boxes and then go delete them. You can go edit in bulk. You can go do an email. You can add to an autoresponder. If you noticed earlier in the profile, I didn't have a verified email in here. I don't know if you saw that, but it's telling me I can't email these people until I verify my email. I can send these folks to an autoresponder. So again, every website that I have, you can have up to 99 websites connected to your Realeflow account. And each one of those has an autoresponder to it, attached to it. They're pre-written based on the type of autoresponder. So if it's a buyer's list page, a pre-foreclosure page, a probate page, an ugly house, a pretty house, a retail, all those have pre-written autoresponders that are totally customizable. Okay, so you can add it to a Scrum board. I'll show you that in a second. You can send direct mail from here. So if these are, let's say you just did a drive-by on these and you want to send direct mail, you can just click on them and go right to direct mail from here. And then lead trace is a new thing, and I'm not familiar with it, so I'm not even going to try and explain it. Oh, that's the skip tracing. Sorry, 10 cents a person. Okay, so you can send direct mail from here. Scrum board is a cool way that you can systematically track what's going on just in a quick look at the leads you have. So I'm going to add them to the Scrum board first, and then I'm going to come up here to manage Scrum board. So now I can see that what's going on in my business. These headers are all customizable to make them whatever you want. I've got new leads to call. I've got evaluating and appointments in work. So we're reviewing this, and again, this is just a demo, right? Offers in work. So I've already been out to them. I'm evaluating these, and I'm working on getting an offer to them. Ready to close to buy, under contract and rehabbing, and ready to close to sell. So these are just the titles that I've given them. You can make them be anything that you want, but it's just a quick look. You come into your business, come into work one day and hit the Scrum board and see really quick what you want. You can do the same thing with contacts. Okay, same thing with contacts. All right, so going back here to the buyer's list. Very, very important that you build this list as big as you can every day. This is what your power match is going to be based on. You want to have every person in here built out to as much information as you possibly can. Let me go back here and show you what So I didn't do a very good job at filling this out here, but we have tags in here that we use, and this is going to be part of the workshop too, that we'll be doing here in the next month or two. So the most important part of the buyer's list is a name, a phone number, an email address, and of course, you know, your contact information goes right here. And you put that information in here, and then preferences. Now, again, I should have filled this out ahead of time. I don't know how this got in here like it is. But the most important part is right here. State. In order to power match and send a lead out, you got to have a state and you got to have cities. So notice what I did. I typed in a zip code. I hit enter. It presents the cities associated with that zip code, and you want to select all. So it automatically fills those 10. Now, I'll cover this more in the workshop, but what I've learned is that there's no city named Naval Air Station JRB. To my knowledge, there's no city named Oaks. There is a River Oaks, but what you want to do, NASJRB, there's no home address with that on there. So what you want to do is take those out and put in other city names so that when you are building your list, every profile has 10 cities. Okay? The more cities you have in here, the more likely you're going to have a match when it's time to sell your houses. So you could come in here and say, again, I want to fill all 10 cities. So now, instead of doing a power match and this guy only having one chance of matching to my houses, he's going to have a chance of 10, right? So if I have a Lido house, he'll match. Benbrook, he'll match. Fort Worth, Lake Worth, so on and so forth. Does that make sense? Everybody follow me?
What's the maximum number he can match on?
Well, there's only 10 cities in here. So remember, when you do a power match, you're sending one house, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you're sending out one house, and that one house, I mean, if it's a Benbrook house, then this guy's going to get selected. If it's a Arlington house, he's not going to be receiving the lead from me, right? Because Arlington's not in this list. If it's in Dallas, he's not going to receive this list. So the tip is go create multiple profiles for this email address. That, again, I go into great depth and we do some demonstrations of this in the workshop. Okay, so those are the most important parts: the name, the email, the city and state. If you don't do city and state, for example, the way I opened this up and it was blank, this particular profile would not have received the property that was being sent out because there was no cities and state in the profile. Does that make sense? Everybody else, is that good?
Yes.
If this is a really key point to making your Realeflow account powerful. And if you don't catch on to this, so the system has a little glitch in it right now when in the buyer's pages. My trade cash for houses, for example, is designed where if they put in a zip code, it's supposed to generate those 10 cities. It's not doing that. So they're supposed to be rewriting the database to fix it. But in the meantime, it's a manual effort. So when you put somebody in, or if somebody joins on their own, you have to come in here, and it's not in the contact information. Well, the email address is in the contact info, but the preference is right here, the target areas, state and cities. You know, you can manually type all the cities, but why do that when you can put a zip code and it'll search them all? But you do have to check that checkbox there to have it fill in the blanks. Very important. You're going to hear me try and drive this point home quite frequently, because if you don't ensure cities and state that your property, when you go match it, go power match it, won't match up with anything. Okay, so, but you can do, from there, let's go back and show you now how that happens in a property. So we've done the buyers, and we're just going to use this as an example. We're going to go through, we're going to make sure that the pertinent information is in here. A lot of this information is pulled automatically. If you have blank spaces, you want to fill it in. Not necessary for, you know, what we're the demonstration, but you know, you want to always have the property details, right? So you want to have the square footage, your built, lot size, if you know it, condition, occupancy, all those things, special features. You know, if it's time to market the house, you want as much info as you can. So, because that information is going to be shared to your buyers when you send it out. So you just go through here and fill all this information out. Now, notice right here, this is an important one. This is one that's kind of out of whack in the system, I think, but hopefully someday they'll fix this. Notice property description and details. This is your marketing paragraph, and I'll show you in a second how it comes out. But this is your marketing paragraph. This is where you're going to write why this property is the best thing since sliced bread and the best deal in town, and somebody needs to buy it. You're going to put it right here. Okay. You're not going to put any kind of contact information in this paragraph. And I'll explain why in just a second. So mortgage information, you're going to fill out all those kind of details. You know, the negotiations, you're going to go in here and put the types of information that you learn as you're talking to the buyers and sellers. Public information, this is all the stuff that gets automatically downloaded from public records. Listing. Remember, I showed you in property, under property descriptions, that's where you're going to go write your marketing piece. Under listing, notice we have listing on acquisition and we have listing on sale. So now if you're selling this property, you have to make sure you come down to this section and you're going to fill this out. Is it listed? Yes or no? What's the asking price? So if you're selling it, whether it's listed or not listed, you're going to put your asking price right there. Okay. If it's listed, of course, you're going to put your MLS information there, and you can put the realtor's contact information in here. I'm going to encourage you to put, again, like I said, every person we talk to about anything in our business, we put them in Realeflow. We've got 9,000 contacts of some sort, buyers, sellers, realtors, contractors, all those kinds of things, lenders, all that's in Realeflow. So my list is pretty big. So by doing it here, it becomes linked to this property and will show up over here under contacts. So to me, this is important. I would encourage you to make sure it's important in your business as well. So now we put the listing price in here and we put the property description in here. And then you can add more contacts here. And you remember those custom fields I talked about? So you can come in here and you can add custom information and stuff to be filled out in your autofill forms if you're using that system. So you want to make sure you save. Even though the system is saving, I highly recommend that you save. Notice the green box here that tells you it's saved. If you're not sure if it's saved, do it again. Okay? Highly recommend you do that. So now I'm going to show you how to power match. So we have, sir.
On my mailers, I have like a mailer campaign that's gone out that's over 3,000. Would you, as far as best practice, load all those up into your contacts or wait till you get responses?
We put them in the system because when we do direct mail, we're using Realeflow, and we have Realeflow tracking numbers. So when they call in, for example, we had one call in, what was it, Sarah, 2-3 days ago? And we knew it was connected to one of our campaigns that we mailed out because of the number.
Mm-hmm.
When you do a direct mail campaign, it is identified as direct mail. So you have to actually, it actually puts it in the background and makes it kind of invisible. You actually have to go check a box to be able to show your direct mail leads. So I recommend you do everything inside Realeflow. Does that answer the question?
Yeah, this is an outside marketing group, but I was thinking about taking my CSV sheet and then just transferring the data over to Realeflow.
You can. You can import leads. You can import contacts.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, so we're now going to power match. So let me explain power match. Power match is the automated function of matching a house. So you have a city and state in that property address with the buyer's list that has the same city and state. Okay. If you have the best deal in the world in Fort Worth and you have no buyers with the city and state of Fort Worth, Texas, that you're not going to send it to anybody. Okay. So this is very important to remember: city and state, and of course an email address. And when you're putting it into the system, you really need a name. The system will accept the email in the city and state for a buyer, but I don't want blank names. I want to know who I'm working with. So, but you absolutely, in order to power match, you have to have a city, state, and an email address. And I'll show you what happens. So you come over here and you hit power match. So notice it's under marketing, right? So I did forget one step. We're going to come back here first and we're going to hit publish property. And what we're doing here is we're going to put it on our website. So you want to click yes. And then you want to select the website that it's going on. Well, in my case, it's going to go, I have a bunch of websites in my system. I only market houses, sell houses on one of them. The rest of them are all seller and buyer squeeze pages, not property pages. So in this case, this is just a demo, DFW Rehab Properties, and it generates a link here for you. But notice I have already done this. I put the name, email, and phone number in here in order to market this property. If the default comes through blank, okay, I wish Realeflow would fix it, maybe someday, but the default, when you first open publish property, this is going to be blank. So I did this in the past, but that's why it's important that you want to click publish property before you do power match, because now you'll see this contact information on the site. Earlier, I mentioned you're going to have separate pages for selling. So this sell point link is the link that's going to go out to your buyers. This is not your website. This is just a marketing page. Your website is right here under websites. That's where you've chosen to send it. I'm going to show you, I'm going to go look at this link first before I send it out to people. I believe in confirming what I'm sending to the public, so make sure it's correct, right? So here's what I'm publishing to my list. There's the company name. There's the address of the property with city and state. There's the asking price. Remember, under the listing tab, you put the price in there. It's got a little map of where the house is located. There's no images in here, but if there were, it's going to show you those images right here. I need to fix that. And then it's going to give you the basic information. Remember, I told you price, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,400 square foot, built in 2002, single family, and I'm not sure, this is a glitch. It says garage car, but remember I showed you in that property description, I just wrote test, right? But this, in the real world, you're going to say everything you need to say about this. If you got comps, you can put comps in there. Just rehabbed, or it's a fixer upper, whatever it is, you're going to put it in that paragraph. Again, do not put contact information in there. And the reason for that is the internal messaging. When you power match that out to people, I'll see if I can pull up an example here, but you do not want to put contact info in here. And we'll go over and look at an internal message and show you why. But remember, I was telling you about when you go to that publish website and you're going to put your information in there. That's why, right there. You will see a lot of people post properties that have no contact information in there. And it's because they don't take the time to set up their profile and go through the training. And this is why I like to do this training, because you and I can all benefit here by doing this properly with power matching and community power matching. So I looked at this. The only thing that's wrong with this that I'm not doing is it doesn't have images. Other than that, this is what your property should look like. Any questions about this? Okay, so all this is good. So I can click save. So now I'm really going to go back here and hit power matching again, just to refresh this. So notice that we have my buyers and community buyers. So I'm going to go to community buyers first. And community buyers is, earlier I mentioned we're networked with 200,000 users across the US and Canada. They build their list, their personal list. And so this is me. So with this particular property, I have 2,250 potential buyers on my list. Okay. You see the difference with everybody else? Why do you think my number is so much higher than theirs?
Been in the business longer?
Well, that's a possibility, but it's really because they're not insuring city and state in every one of their buyers. You see this guy here? I taught them how to do this. That's why they have 1,071. Okay. Taught him how to do it, but I think he's no longer using the system. But this number is showing you the number of potential matches. And personally, you can ignore all this other bedrooms, bathrooms, and price, because I'm going to teach you not to put that information in there. Even though we have some, we never want to try and match on it, because these people don't have anything. They don't use it, so why should I ask for it? Right? So just ignore. I do it for my own information. I never power match on that, and I'll show you where that is. So again, all these are Realeflow users. And since I think all of you are pretty new, if you had this house and you had no buyers on your list, even if you had, 5, 10, whatever it is, that's a small number, right? Only takes one, I realize, but it's a small number. So if you're having trouble selling something, come over here to community buyers. And what you want to do is hit filters first, and then you want to click the type of deal that you have. Is it a landlord deal? Is it a owner finance deal? Is it a rehabber deal? So on and so forth. Or is it a fix and flip you're doing retail on? So I'm going to say investor here. And what that's going to do is it's going to refilter your list. Notice it reduced my list to 1,339 total investors for a Fort Worth property, 393 for a Fort Worth property, so on and so forth. Does that make sense? Do you see what happened? So now you can click this one box and it checked everybody. And now you can send a message to 16 to 1,700 potential buyers. It's going to these companies. These are Realeflow companies, users, okay? But they have the chance to send it out to each of their buyers, 393, 4, 1, 21, 3, 1,339. So does that make sense? You see where I'm coming from? You may have no personal buyers on your My Buyers side, but you can send it out to this community of buyers and maybe sell it through one of these Realeflow users. Have I
Tim, is
lost
this
everybody, or are you sleeping?
now, is this a courtesy, or do you have to split the deals with these guys if they bring you the buyer, or how's that work?
So Realeflow connects you to the user, but then you have to reach out to that user and strike up a deal. So let's say
Okay.
you sent me something because I have 1,339 potential buyers. You and I need to have a phone call to discuss if we're going to do an option agreement. And do you have any wiggle room in your deal to pay me an option fee or marketing fee before I send this out to my list? Why would I want to send it to 1,339 of my buyers and not get paid? Very important. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I didn't know if it was just a general community or if it was, I'm working on you're working with me.
No, these are all Realeflow users across the country. It could be the Realeflow user lives in Alaska, but he's doing deals remotely here in Fort Worth. So you never know where these guys are at. So you want to always be building your list and relationships and so forth in Realeflow. Okay. No other questions? I mean, everybody's quiet. So if you sell it through the community, you're not going to make as much, right?
Yeah.
So what you want to do is build your personal buyers list as big as you possibly can so that you can get the most money out of the deal, right? So you want to, in my personal list, I have a huge list. Well, you just saw it, 1,300 buyers, right? For a Fort Worth house. Remember, I'm in my training account, so I'm acting as another Realeflow user. So my list is big. Okay. So for the demonstration, I just put all these in here just to have somebody to send it to. Remember again, pick the filter. Is it a investor deal? And it'll reshuffle the leads. Notice that list got a little smaller. If it was a retail flip, that list is going to be different. And you know, if it was owner fine, so there's the retail list right there. Okay. So it depends on how you build your buyers and what kind of a buyer they are. So if you're interested in doing owner finance, then you're going to build a buyer's list for owner finance and maybe rentals. Again, we do demonstrations in the workshop. If you're going to do a landlord list,
What's the difference between a rental and landlord list?
renters versus landlord.
Oh, renters. Okay.
But so this filter here makes a big difference on who you're sending it to. Okay. And then you just, again, check the box, wait till they all are highlighted. Come over here, hit send email. Now, here's another thing I see people making a mistake on. You're going to put your name and your email up here. And you're going to, from here, remember, this is nothing but a template from Realeflow, just to give you something to start with. So what you're going to do is you want to customize it. You don't want to send the boilerplate response out. You want to make this your own and make it enticing. You know the property, you know your deal. Tell people why they should buy it. You want to leave this part right here because it's going to autofill and capture their name from their profile. And then again, you want to change this. The one thing you don't want to change is this link. Okay. That link is what you're sending to people. And it's probably this same link right here. Yes. So that's what's going out to your list. Okay. So you don't want to mess with that link, but then make this say whatever you want it to say. Now, you do have the capability, and I guess I missed that in the profile. You want to create email signatures. In my real account, I have about a half dozen email signatures. I have my main company, TMC Property Solutions. I have one for the West DFW REI Group. I have one for all wholesale properties, one for trade cash for houses, one for Own a Texas Home, for my selling homes and rentals. So you can go into the profile and create as many signatures in there as you want to, so you can use the appropriate one when you send this out. So because I don't have that email address verified, I'll get that fixed for the workshop, and we'll do some real live power matching examples to those in the class. Okay, so I'm going to close that out. Any questions on what you just saw? This is a key reason I use Realeflow. I can power match and send my houses to my list in a matter of seconds if I want to. And certainly no more than a couple of minutes. Questions? Okay. So we have quickly run out of time. I'm just going to go down through this menu here real quick. and tell you what we got here. Comps, I would not bother with this. I use this for data only. This is a fancy version of Zillow. You can get some information out of it, but if you're having trouble with getting comps, that's a different story. Then come look at this. But otherwise, I would shy away from this just because it's not real good information. Coming back over here, lead pipes. Whoop, marketing. So here you go to your website, so you can go customize your websites that you have through Realeflow. Here's where your direct mail campaigns start. You got some basic settings here. You can get a tracking number through Realeflow so that it reports in the system what number they called from. But it is a pretty simple system. You can use list from Realeflow, or you can import your own list from Realeflow as well. Personally penned letters is different from direct mail. So you want to go there if you're trying to do the yellow and white letters. Opt-in forms. You have a whole bunch of different opt-in forms that you can actually put on your websites, and you can put on third-party sites such as Investor Carrot. You have to go through here and there's a setup to this, but you want to go through that if you want to use those. By using these forms, it dumps the data into Realeflow. Okay. Marketing library. I mentioned this earlier. Here's all the pre-made postcards, letters, brochures, signs, and a credibility kit. You can go in there and download all these things and use them. But you can also make your own custom postcards, and that's what we've been working on for the last several months. Lead pipes. Here's where you can go pull your leads. You can have property leads. Right here, you can go buy your AI zip codes, but you can buy property leads here, or well, not buy, but you can go search and download leads here. You have people leads. So if you want to go look for a cash buyers list or build a buyers list, you can do that. If you want to do direct mail to them, you can do that. I don't mess with commercial leads, and the probate leads are going away. So, and I never recommended those because you can get better leads in third-party sources. Deal analyzer. So you can do a very detailed, there's two different versions. There's a simple and a very detailed version of a analyzer tool. You can do a repair estimator tool. This is a very quick down and dirty that you can print a nice estimate for the sellers. If you want to present that kind of information to the seller, very professional looking. And you can also do a statement of work. You can print a statement of work to give it to a contractor to bid on. We don't have time to show you that today, but it's very detailed. Rehab planner. This is the one I was telling you about that's connected to Home Depot SKUs. You can go in here and create a very detailed plan, rehab plan, and give it to your contractor. They have training videos on how each of these things work. Financing, that's where you can do the proof of funds. Communicate. This is where you can send email to your entire list or, individuals. Autoresponders, you can go, even though I told you earlier, you can have, there's pre-written autoresponders for each of the websites that you get through Realeflow. You can go in and create a totally new autoresponder and initiate it anytime you want. So Keith, I know you have a lending background. So if you had a list of folks that, may need lending help, you could go create an autoresponder in there specifically for people that need lending assistance on your wife's houses and stuff. And you can send that, put them into that autoresponder series. I had to talk to Ruth Ann about that, with her grant programs that she has. She could go into Realeflow and create an autoresponder to send out to people. Internal messaging. I'm gonna take just a minute to show you this, even though we're over time. Earlier, I mentioned the importance of making sure you don't put contact information on the property description. So what I'm going to do here is, notice I'm going to copy this link, and I'm going to go outside here, and I'm going to view the link before I send it to anybody. And the reason I'm doing this is I want to see what's on this listing. So I want to see where it's at, a price, does it have contact information in it. I don't want to send a house to one of my buyers that somebody didn't put contact info in. And then the last thing I want is to have somebody, I don't want to send this to one of my buyers that has contact information, because what can they do at that point?
Big deal.
They can go around me, right?
Yeah.
If I was to send this out to somebody and it had a phone number in it or an email, that buyer that I sent it to could go around me. So, and that's what this internal messaging is. This is other Realeflow users. Remember, we were clicking on community buyers earlier? Well, when I send that to the community buyers, this is what you get, the internal message. And that's why it's important. But here's, when you send it to me, like Sarah sent me this, I click on view my matching buyers. This is the really powerful piece of Realeflow, again, networked with other users. So if I was in my real account, I would see hundreds, if not pushing 1,000 of people in Crowley interested in buying this house. Okay, this is just my test account, so there's only 2 in here, but it shows me who matches, and I can click here and I can send, as soon as I can send an email to these people, and it gives them a different email. So you still want to customize it. Don't just use the boilerplate. And then I'm going to copy this email and watch what happens. I'm going to copy the link. Now, remember, this is the link I was going to send to you as a buyer. If you were on my list for houses in Crowley, Texas, you were going to get this email from me. So we have all the details about the property. Again, if there was a phone number or an email in this Realeflow user's property description, they'd be able to go around me. But here's the protection built in from Realeflow. Realeflow removed Sarah's info. So now, Keith, if you were on my list for Crowley, you would receive this email. You would have this I want more info button. You can click on this, and what it does is it goes to Sarah to say, I have a potential buyer, and it comes to me to say, I have a potential buyer, but it only gives me your information to follow up with you to see if you really want to see this house.
Okay.
Does that make sense? So Realeflow is protecting me as the user that is sending it out to my list. That's the powerful piece of this. So you always want, before you are going to send this out to your buyer's list, your personal list, you always want to look at this link, because people will put a Dropbox link in, they'll put a video in, a phone number, and they'll send you to their personal website and stuff in this link, and you don't want to do that. You want your buyers to come to you and not anybody else, right? I mean, this is an important piece, and we'll get into this in detail in the workshop. So I'm just going to close that, but does that make sense?
Mhm.
So that's what the power match does, is these are the people that sent out to the community of users over there in the power match page and not their personal page. So here's one that I did from TMC Property Solutions. So I'm going to click on it, and I totally customized this page. I didn't just use the default. I'm going to click on view my matching buyers, and I don't remember what property this was. So I'm going to click here. Wow, the system's working really slow.
There it goes.
Say, what was that, Jonathan?
I said, there it goes. It populated finally.
Yep. Okay, so I'm going to look at this property, this link. I don't want to just randomly send this out. Very important. I learned this the hard way. Okay, so we were co-marketing, joint venturing with somebody in this house down in Granbury. So notice that it removes the contact information. So when I click on it, it's going to send a email back to me. And I see they got a glitch here in this, so I'm gonna report that. That shouldn't show that picture. But that's how you, before you send this list out to anybody, or this email, you always want to confirm that to make sure there's no contact information from the other Realeflow user that has it for sale. And then you just want to customize these emails before they go out. But once you build your list back over here in this contacts list, the bigger this list is, the more powerful your buying and selling capability is. Earlier, I mentioned we have a new smartphone app, right? So this is how you see it in the list view. I can go in here and send a text or message right from the contact list. I've got to play with it. Don't understand how to use it yet, but that's where you see it. That's the most obvious place you see it. And then back over here real quick, communicate. Again, you can do email and autoresponders. You can do, you can track and see results. Here's all the autoresponders, all the pages that we have set up, but you can see the results in here from the autoresponders that are sent out. It'll tell you how many were sent and how many completed. Here's all the titles of those. I highly recommend that you customize each of those, use video and images. Again, this is just demo count, but you can see how many were sent, how many were opened, and so forth. I'm not sure why my email is no longer verified in here, but I'll get that fixed. It'll also show you the subscribers, the good addresses, and it'll show you people that have unsubscribed and bounced. Okay. So, not a perfect tool. It's not like a Constant Contact or Get Response, but you spend hundreds and hundreds of dollars for those tools. It doesn't cost you anything extra in Realeflow. Manage.
Hey, Tim,
Yes.
what's to keep them from taking the address and seeing who the current current owner of record is on it and going to them directly?
Well, there's not a thing that you can stop them there, not a way you can stop them, but you have a contract. You have a legal binding contract with that seller. Right? So,
Yeah,
you
but
know,
normally,
that's where you want to have that affidavit of memorandum on file with county records. If you think somebody's going to be crooked and sly and go behind your back, you're putting a notice on public records that you have a legal and binding contract to purchase that home. Okay, power linking, calendar and task. You can do calendar and task for every property, every contact if you want to keep up with things. Power linking is, let's say Jonathan and I decide to work together on a house down south by your mother's house, Jonathan.
Mhm.
And let's say you found a property down there and you want a JV or you just want to bird dog it to me, either one. I can create you as a Power Link user, and I would come in here and add you as a Power Link user, and then I can share all of the property details about that property with you to keep you informed of where I'm at on that property. Okay. This is a great tool for bird dogs. So it's a very powerful tool. And the courses, you know, they sell several courses, but again, if you buy the annual subscription from me through the group, then you get 2 courses free: private lending and Facebook marketing. And then here's their knowledge base and tech support stuff. So I know that was really, really fast. I do plan on doing a workshop here in the near future, working on the subject to workshop. So if you have not already seen it and registered, for May, we're doing the peeling back the onion and getting into the details of what, you know, behind a subject to deal. It's not a how-to kind of thing. It's all the different information and so forth that you need to deal with in subject to. Then on the 15th of June, we're doing a live workshop to be 6 to 8 hours that day. It's at the bank too, and you'll see that announcement come out pretty soon. There's going to be an early bird discount for those that sign up right away, and there'll be some bonuses, free download in the for the early bird registration. So, and I think that's about it. My throat is whooped. So,
Hey, Tim,
questions,
for the
comments?
upcoming meeting,
Say again?
for the upcoming meeting, my local bank has a commercial loan officer. Do you need someone like that, or could he attend as a guest, or how do you feel about it? I just don't want to bring someone.
So anybody can attend the first time for free, Keith.
Mhm.
So I would encourage you to invite everybody.
Okay.
If they are interested in becoming a commercial lending vendor, they're
Mhm.
welcome to do that. You know,
Okay.
we can
I'll
bring
bring
them
him
in.
this month and let him meet you.
Yep, we can bring them in and let them join for 6 months like you did and see what it's like and participate in the group as well. And maybe it'd be a good fit for them.
Oh, you just went totally digital like Matrix.
Oh, really?
Yeah, your video is all with the little scrolling down symbols and all that kind of stuff.
it was fine on mine.
There was a good
I'm
on your
normally
end.
one- yeah, I'm normally the one that gets bandwidth issues, but it was fine on mine this time.
Hey, Sarah, can I ask you a quick question?
Yeah, go for it.
How long have you been doing this now?
A little over right around a year, I guess.
Your personal buyers list, how big is it?
I haven't really dedicated myself to doing much with that just yet. So,
I need to get in that arena. So, you know,
okay.
birds of a feather need to stick together on that one, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
let me just tell you the big secret there though, Keith. I mean, yes, you do. not to take that away from you, you do need to be building the buyers list. And there's so many ways that you can do that. But remember, you and I are connected on Realeflow through the community buyers match.
Mhm.
So all you have to do is go take any property you have. Do you have a Fort Worth property, or where's this property you have under contract?
This one's Fort Worth, and if this other deal goes through today or tomorrow, I'll have another Fort Worth.
So go click on that property. Go open that property.
I haven't put it in my system yet.
Okay. So
It's outside marketing, so that's why I didn't download it over.
Okay. Highly recommend you put every lead you're working on in Realeflow right from the beginning so you can document everything. But when you get it in there, open it up and then click on Power Match and then Community Buyers. And when you do that, you're going to see TMC Property Solutions show up.
Mhm.
And that's like having your own built-in buyers list, except the only difference is you'll have to share the profit with me. Right?
But now, not to talk about you in general, but when you're sharing in that community, is there a rule of thumb, the percentages and all that? Rule of thumb, not narrowing you down or anything.
I want as much as I can get, and you want to pay as little as you can pay. But in all seriousness, I'm not greedy. Now, I expect to be treated fairly, but we can talk about that. I mean, if it's going to be a big deal for you, I don't expect to get $100.
Mhm.
Remember, I got a big list. So, and if I sell that deal for you, that's got to be worth something.
No, absolutely. I'm not worried about you, Tim. I'm more worried about the people I don't know.
Yeah. But they're all different, Keith. I mean, they're investors. Most of them are cheap and greedy.
Exactly.
Sarah's laughing, but isn't it true?
It's true. It's
Cheap and
very
greedy.
true.
So, okay. Well, listen, I need to let you go. I'm falling behind here. So, good talking to you. Hopefully this helped. The workshop, I wish I had a date. I should have a date already for you, but I don't. But take a look at that flyer that I sent you, because it's got a lot of detail in there. And then this will get uploaded in the next couple of days to the calendar event. The flyer will be in the calendar event as well. And then don't forget about the Subject 2 courses. And if you're in the area and can come to our property walkthrough tomorrow at noon and on 11:30, Sampson Park. So that's on the calendar. Hopefully you can attend. It should be good. It's a rehab walkthrough, and hopefully we can see you there.
Thanks, Tim.
Thanks, Tim.
Have a great day.
Appreciate y'all.